Hey y'all, how you doing? You having a good week? You having a good day? Did you drink enough water? I know if you're not,
I will hunt you down and force water down your throat. I swear it on everything.
I was working on a whole lot of stuff this week and realized that I did not have a video ready to put in this time slot because all the videos that I'm trying to make they're taking a little bit more time than I thought they would. And so, we're gonna have a chill, laid-back sort of video where I've curated a bunch of memes, and we're just gonna look at a few memes and see what we do. Alrighty. A new feat for 5e. Petty. Your charisma score increases by 1. You learn the cantrip Vicious Mockery. You may cast the spell at a reaction when an enemy within 60 feet of you misses with an attack or fails a saving throw, because you're petty. I would add this into my game in a heartbeat. I love silly little homebrew stuff. I'm just imagining somebody as like a professional heckler at like a golfing tournament, you know? That was a job I had once, was a professional heckler at a golfing tournament, and it's just like, alright, I got this, I'm gonna swing. Hey, you suck, bud. A little too fast for you, wasn't it? Oh, why don't you bend around and give your balls a tug? Like, if anybody has seen Letterkenny, I would imagine Shorzy having this feat, and it's highly effective. Spells that should be available at the discount spell shop. Water walking, the nearest bucket grows legs. Summon skeleton, it's inanimate, just some bones. Shock, the spell book is just full of dirty jokes. Detect life, detects bacteria. Shadow shape, your shadow takes an interesting new shape. Divine intervention, the nearest bush catches fire. Mark, summon a guy called Mark. So I saw this one and immediately threw it into my campaign. Immediately. It was really funny because my players had just gotten some money, and so they were looking to spend it on magic items and things like that. And I campaign in Exandria just because I've literally devoted over 20,000 of my hours of my life into that world. And so I figured it's easy for me and I don't have to think about it too much. And so they were in Zadash, and I was like, okay, so you can go to the Invulnerable Vagrant, or you can go to JC Copper Pieces, which is a discount spell store. And they obviously chose JC Copper Piece because they wanted to save money. And I had this along with a whole bunch of other various bad spell-like components, like the invisible net. Turns out somebody stole it. They had a bargain bin of potions that were all a discount price, but all the labels were taken off, so nobody knew what they were or what they did. And then he also had these scrolls that had each of these, and they ended up buying a few of them. And literally during like a mini boss battle, one of them pulled out Shadow Shape and cast it. And it was one of the few moments as a DM where I'm like, oh God, guys, I'm so sorry, but also this is so funny. I highly recommend in your campaign, throw in a discount spell shop. It could have multitudes of hilarity gathering after it, especially the longer it takes for them to use the magic item. My favorite type of RPG puzzle is one that I, as the dungeon master, don't know the answer to, and I'm just waiting for them to do something entertaining enough for me to say, yeah, that does it. I don't know if it's every DM, but me specifically as a DM, I've put a lot of thought into my puzzles. I really like puzzles personally. I think it's the ADHD, but I put a lot of thought into them, and so they have usually specific things that'll do it, but also I recognize the fact that sometimes I create puzzles that are way too hard for D&D players to do, because with my experience with DMing, the best puzzle you can give somebody is on the back of a kids menu from Denny's, and and that'll take them about 45 minutes to figure out. But I always have a contingency in the back of my brain, which is I have a specific answer for this puzzle, but if they do something that I think either makes enough sense or is just funny enough to get them past, I'll let them go. Especially if they've been spending a lot of time on this, you know? DM, you enter through the doors to see a red dragon sleeping high atop its hoard. Cleric, can I cast command? DM, you are not within 5 feet of the target. Anyways, it would not be wise to wake a sleeping dragon. No. I mean, can I cast command on the bard? DM, okay, what word do you use? Cleric, celibacy. The bard. I haven't had anybody try to seduce a dragon yet. Yet. It's coming. I know it. The universal D&D experience trademark. Random NPC appears. Players. So, what's their name? DM. NPC that is stated out with intricate backstory that was planned to be plot relevant appears. Players. We kill them immediately. I have started keeping a list on my phone of whenever I see something random out in public, or I'm driving, or I'm watching a TV show or a YouTube video or something like that. If I hear something that even vaguely sounds like a name, I write it down. And then while I'm playing, I will always have that list open with me. It's how I got names like Wasco Shafter, which was a sign on a highway. I got Rip Lilt, which I'm pretty sure was something somebody said offhand while I was on a job. I have already put in the names Zoloft, Effexor, and Mirtazapine in my thing. That's another thing. If you're looking for like random names that sound like D&D names, look for antidepressants. Literally any drugs. I've also got Abilify in my campaign as well. Look towards like names of medications. The best part is, as far as I can tell, none of my players have caught on that they're the names of drugs. Just matching this one right here. I have a player, it's my sibling, where they ask the name of literally any NPC that they come across, which is why I started the list. I get it, I feel it. I never leave the house without my collection of magic items. Keys, allow walking through walls at predefined locations. Glasses, remove one disability. Wallet, can be converted into practically anything up to a finite total monetary value. Pants, vastly decrease the risk of getting arrested. Shoes, allow walking over surfaces which are too hot or rough. Book, allows temporary travel to alternate reality. Purse, increases the number of items that can be carried at once. Coat, allows survival at below freezing temperatures. Coffee, gives temporary stamina and perception increase. Phone, gives ability to speak to another person without having to see their faces, as well as providing a vast source of information and entertainment for various purposes. I curated this one for a few reasons, because one, this is just a reminder to everybody who currently is playing D&D that you know all those things that are in the equipment part of the player's handbook, you know, like spy glasses and ball bearings and caltrops and things like that. Did you know they actually do things? If you have a magnifying glass, you gain advantage on investigation checks. If you have a spy glass, you gain advantage on perception checks that involve sight if you use them. So, next time you're playing D&D, bust a few of those out. Spend a little money on them. You know what I mean? And surprise your DM, because I bet your DM didn't even know that. Another thing, me and one of my best friends in the entire world, who's playing in my D&D campaign right now, while we were traveling around and things like that, we came across this old meme that said, whenever you leave the house, remember, Wowie, wallet, phone, wakeys, egg backup. And you'll never forget anything ever again. And we thought it was so ridiculous that we just started saying it all the time whenever we left the house. And it just kind of stuck. And now it's something I do literally every single time I leave the house. Wallet, phone, wakeys, egg backup. Egg and egg backup, those are up for you to decide, but they're two things that you need to leave the house with. I always say egg is that extra thing that's not those first three things that you need to keep in mind. And then the fourth one is the one that you need to take with you to that exact location. Because I'm fabulous. Paladin. I'm rolling to seduce the barkeep. Roll it. No, fuck. Nat 1. She isn't even interested in women. Well, fuck. I guess it's the Artificer's turn. The only male and aromantic Artificer. No. Barbarian. Please, Artificer, we can't afford to sleep here. I'll sleep in an alleyway. I have nothing worth stealing. You don't need to do anything, just some harmless flirting. Do you like your magical mall? I can make it unmagical. Druid. Also, isn't Artificer's charisma, like, super low? DM cackling. Okay, since none of y'all moved away, I'm assuming this is all happening around the barkeep. So, I rolled to see how interested in Artificer she is. I rolled a nat 20. So, fuck it, Artificer is so much her type, she just slides a key to you. Barbarian. How did you do that? Artificer. Because I'm fabulous. Some of these I just threw in here because I like them. A witch is a magic user with more focus on medicine and body, and a wizard is a magic user with more focus on, like, physics and academia. I don't know what dingus made up one day that they're just the two magic genders. That's so stupid. Witches, magic doctors. Wizards, magic researchers. Artificers, magic engineers. Alchemists, magic chemists. Sorcerers, magic YouTubers. What about warlocks? Magic sugar babies. I mean, it's true. They are magic sugar babies. Bard. So what's your specialty? Rogue. Stealth. Paladin. Me too! Rogue. In that armor? Yeah, we just have different styles. For example, I use heavy stealth. Rogue. Which is Paladin. Nobody can see you if there are no witnesses. I had an idea back when I was starting to play D&D years and years and years ago, where I was going to create a Minotaur rogue that his idea of stealth was to take people into an alleyway, beat them senseless, take their money, and then throw them back out into the street saying nobody will ever believe you. And yep, that follows it. I like it. Wizard. I'm too drunk to walk or fly. Bard. I've got it. Squishes the small jello cube. DM. A gelatinous cube appears suddenly, engulfs the entire party, and brings you home. You lose 20 gold pieces each. Party. Was that a fantasy taxi? DM. It's called the gelatinous cuber. I love puns. The face you make when the druid offers to cast heat metal on the false gold teeth of a crime syndicate boss, and you have to describe the event. It do be like that sometimes. It do. You don't know the horrors I've had to describe. The things they've made me do. Don't talk to me about genocide. I think it would be very funny for characters in fantasy settings to walk into a pub and try to order, and the bartender sighs and goes, species and age, while pulling out a massive book holding the drinking age for every type of species capable of purchasing alcohol. Now, I saved this one specifically because I'm going to throw it in my campaign. Whenever I see something that's a great idea like this, I always think I'm gonna throw this in my campaign. It'll show up eventually, but yeah, I like it. It's fun. Cleric. Watch your tone, vampire, or have you forgotten what happened in Africa? Vampire. You genocidal monster. Generations of my brethren erased from existence. Bard. Dude, what did you do? Cleric. I blessed the rains down in Africa. Overly cautious D&D party, still in starting tavern after 10 sessions. DM. The front door. Oh my god. I threw this one in here specifically because, I'm kind of in the middle of developing a game system right now, and so I'm doing a bunch of test games for it. But in one of them, I was playing with my group, and it was supposed to be they were going through a temple and things like that, and they were supposed to knock down jars of liquid, and I kept on describing, the statue is like this, and in its hand, it holds, a rock, and there's rubble all over the ground and loose rocks, and it looks like there's a range here. Kinda looks like one of the throwing galleries at a fair. And the first thing they did was throw one of the dude's flasks. Then the next thing they did was rip off a button and throw it at them. And then they kept on ripping off buttons until the character was all their clothes were hanging off. And she said, okay, rip the last button off my trousers, and they fall to the ground. Say, as you look down to your, every single time they throw something, I just describe the rubble and rocks on the ground and how throwable it was. And then literally once that happened, I was like, you look down on the ground at your pants and you see all of the broken, small, very throwable rocks that flitter your feet as you hold the button in your hand. And she just said, well, probably should have seen that sooner, but we're here now. I thought it was such a funny moment. I love that. This one's small. Conversations with the 5-year-old DM. 5-year-old DM. It's a spider dragon. Me. What is that? 5-year-old DM. A massive black dragon with 8 legs and big pinchers dropping with poison. Me. That's terrifying. 5-year-old DM. It is a breath weapon. It breathes millions of tiny spiders at you. I immediately saw this and was just like, uh-huh. Yeah. Keep talking. What other abilities does this dragon have? Uh-huh. Like, but yeah, those are some of the D&D memes that I've seen recently and I really like. So, I hope you enjoyed it. More videos are coming out in the future. It just takes a while to work on them just because I'm a one-man show and running the entire train. But I enjoy doing it. And I want it to look nice for y'all. If you like this, go ahead and tell me in the comments, because I don't mind doing this. This is really fun to me. I love sharing stuff. I love showing people stuff. And so, if you like this, leave a comment telling me you like this. Go ahead and give this a like and subscribe, because there are definitely going to be more videos out in the future. And while you're down there, go ahead and click on my channel and check out the other videos I've done. I've done some interesting stuff. If you like this, you'll probably enjoy my Reddit videos where I go on RPG horror stories and read a bunch of Reddit stuff. But be on the lookout for more videos in the future. Until that time, I will catch you in the next one.